I want to talk about a challenge a little bit, and from the challenge, take some tips. I think it will be good for you to put everything together and to make a deep challenge for the next weeks. After that, I want to talk about vinyasa counting in special. And the last thing I'm going to talk about a little bit about some specific asanas which are helpful for everyone. About the challenge, first of all, I want to give you the thanks because everyone has tried the challenge. So it has been very impressive for me because when the challenge starts, also the mood of the room changed with the start with the challenge. So the room, it became more quiet. Also for me, it has been very deep challenge because I should uh, I should understand that sometimes maybe I don't need to talk too much and I can approach to every one of you in a different way. So for me, it also has been very challenging because sometimes I felt like the best adjustment is actually not adjust. Also, I realized like you already can breathe very good. You have a very nice work with your breath. As you are a very nice breath, I want to give you some tips so we can go deep on the challenge and also make that things maybe and take it from that place and put it on the all day practice, like when you don't do the challenge like strict. I want to talk about a little bit about the bandas and also remind you the drishti, so the points we should look when we do the asana and when we do transitions in between one asana and the other one. So that calls Tristana in traditional system. We have breath plus bandas. This is not, can be not separate. And we have Drishti and Asana. When we do asana, we need to keep this and keep this together. For this kind of practice, when we try to do Tishtana complete challenge, it will be very helpful because as you are breathing once and once, not stopping, it's easy to keep Udiyana and Mula Bandha. So Udiyana Bandha has two ways of execution. For pranayama, when we practice pranayama, we do full udiyana. When we practice full udiyana, it means you need to let all the air go out. That is a complete udiyana. So that we only practice that udiyana when we are doing kumbhaka richaka and pranayama exercise. When we do udiyana while we are doing ashtanga or some kind of another method, we need to do some kind of half udiyana. That means we need to give space to the rib cage to keep breathing this way. So when we do Udiyana for Ashtanga, we need to allow the diaphragm to move a little bit. You need to practice your Udiyana in order to do a strong work with your body. And also we have Mula Bandha, which is probably the most challenging thing we have in the practice. So in India, they say like if you can control your Mula Bandha, you actually can control your mind. Mula Bandha is something like you think, okay, I'm going to hold my Mula Bandha, and after 2 seconds, you just lost Mula Bandha again because you just look up to the side, Mula Bandha goes. Mula Bandha goes all the time. Maybe you can try now in the challenge to work with the bandhas, and maybe not every day the same, but when you feel like you are very, very energetic, you can do this like Today, I'm going to try only Surya Namaskaras. Strong Uddiyana with the inhale, strong Mula Bandha when I exhale. Sorry. Maybe after a while, you realize like, oh, I can hold it in Surya Namaskaras. So now I'm going to keep on with the same in the standing asana. And then the same, like if I am comfortable now here, maybe I can move a little bit forward with the sitting asanas, or maybe you can try it in finishing. This is super important because we also need to start the work of breath in deep, like deep, so we can after a while start to do pranayama. Patavi Joyce, when he started to teach for Occidental people, he asked people to finish third sequence to start with pranayama exercise. That means is pranayama is a very, very, very challenging, and you need to be very careful because as we control the breath, many things happens at the nervous system. The first opportunity you have to practice pranayama deep is when you do Padmasana at the end of the practice. The challenge for that Padmasana exercise is to breathe as slow as you can until you can do like 13 or 14 max in 10 minutes. Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha are fundamental if we want to deep breath, and we want to work deep on our breath. Because when we use the bandhas, we are able to dosify, like make a little dose of the breath. It's not like complete, you go slowly, 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 slowly. As I started practicing with my phone, put it like 10 minutes and start to breathe, counting how many breaths I do. So maybe you start and you realize that you are doing 20, 25, 30, no problem. Don't worry about the number, this is not important. The important is the work you do to breathe slowly. And now I want to talk about the drishtis. So as we are working in the challenge, drishtis are super important part of the practice that many times we don't pay attention at all. When we practice, we have to have in mind like Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga is a movement meditation method. When we meditate, we have a point where we pay attention. Can be the floor, can be this circle, can be my breath, many things different. And when we practice Ashtanga, we have like 2 points of attention. One, of course, is the breath with the bandhas, which are everything together. And the other one is, of course, the asana, execution of the asana. And the third one is if we really use drishtis, we shouldn't have space to look around, to have eye contact with anyone. And you just go into your own mat, own practice, and no room for distractions. This is important because when we are practicing with the properly breath, this is very helpful to go deep into the vinyasa system. So this is going to give you focus. This, when I say, for example, Tadasana, Virabhadrasana, Urdhva Mukha, etc. But what for me is the important thing, what we do in the transition. So what I do to keep my focus when I practice is keep the nose like a straight rule. So for example, if I go to Utthita Trikonasana, I start looking up to my nose. So Tadasana, Uttita Trikonasana, Ekam. Inhale, go to the nose,
吸いな
nose,
がら
nose,
足後ろなんだけれども、目線は鼻です。
nose, 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 until I catch. Then through my nose, go and look my hand.
足の指を掴むまでは鼻を見たまま。で、掴んだ後は鼻からそのまま手の方に移していく目線を。
So before I finish my exhale, 5, come back to my nose.
5回目の呼
Lift
吸を終わるまでに目線を鼻に戻します。
nose and go down, looking to my nose. When I catch and start slowly through my nose to my hand.
鼻を見ながら降りていく。足の指を掴む。そしてその目線を上の手に移していく。
So nose, 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 nose. Again, go down, nose. When I am in the pose, slowly through my nose to the right hand.
ポーズに入るまでは目線は鼻のまま。ポーズに入ってから目線を鼻の頭から上の手に移す。
Then nose, again left side, nose, samasthiti, nose.
サマスティティフまでも鼻を見たままです。
If for you is too much like you feel dizzy or something, you can just look not exactly the nose, but point a little bit forward and down. Then when you practice that way, you can be sure that you are practicing like in the vinyasa and you are focused your mind and what do you need. So that at that point you start to actually meditate because you are working nose or the drishti, you are holding your bandhas and you are doing the execute of the asana. Because I share my path, like the things it helped me to bring everything together, but I am working as everyone. When you come here to the Mysore room, take this place like a place or like a room you can work deep on yourself. Take your time to care about yourself. When we practice as Drishti, Bandha, there is no room for distraction, no room for eye contact. So please try to keep this because you are going to start to realize that you really can feel benefits from the practice. Release the pain, make the mind more clear, give you energy, and many things more. But I want to show you what happened in the sitting asana. When we start in the sitting asanas, it's different because we sit and we start to look around, or easy to look around. So my recommendation is also to keep a point where we can look when we are doing the asanas and in between them. For example, if I do Janu Shirshasana sit, I can jump, go into the asana, and as I put this, I keep my look on this toe. I keep, and then if for you is too much this, you just close. And maybe you can look here or project your eyes into the big toe. We open toes. Some people look to the third eye. For me, it's not a rule, so you can pick one or another. So for example, if you are here, you look toe, exhale, toe. When you change nose, in between these and these, there is no room to look around. You look nose, nose, nose. Wait, you go through the nose to the third eye, or some people look up. So from there, I change to my nose, and then I go to downward facing dog, looking through my nose. For me, when I just stay in down dog, change from my nose to in between my legs so I can relax my eyes a little. Then I have like 2 seconds to relax, and then when I jump, I again change. Nose, 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 and then toe. Change the nose to the toe. This is a recommendation, but you can start to do it with the asanas are more easy for you. The last thing I want to talk about this vinyasa system is the vinyasa count in the lead class. When Patavi Joyce put the system or systematized the primary and intermediate, he used the full vinyasa system. So that means after each asana, you should come back to samasthiti. But after a while, if you start to practice full primary, it becomes almost impossible to follow full vinyasa every day. So the words you listen when we count is ekam, dve, trini, chatwari, pancha. There is not like anything like I'm saying anything. Is like the counting. Ekam means 1, dve means 2, trini means 3, and then why this is important is because the amounts of numbers is how many vinyasas has each asana. In order to do it more compact, many of the asanas mix the count. Every time in the standing we say samastitihi is because we finish an asana with the vinyasa system counting. Surya Namaskara A has 9 vinyasas. The Surya Namaskara B, we had 17. So, for example, what happened in the Trikonasana and Parivrita Trikonasana? Ekam, dve, go down. Trini, come up. Chatwari, go down left side. And Pancha, inhale. When we start here, we finish in Pancha, which means 5. So instead, we do samastitihi, we stay in Pancha, and we do Parivrita Trikonasana, and we go dve. Why I tell you this is because when you are practicing with the breath, with the bandhas, with the drishti, it's very important to also follow the correct vinyasas movements. Okay, so if you take more breath than the vinyasa count, please take it, don't worry. And if you have doubts about the drishti, you always can go to the nose. Don't try to do everything at the same time because it's very, very, very complicated. So allow yourself to enjoy your practice and play. We have already a lot of different elements, so please enjoy and don't take it too serious. I want to talk first about the Supta Vakrasana adjustment. Supta Vakrasana is a very, very challenging asana, which needs always help from another person. As a teacher can never help everyone in Supta Vakrasana, most of the students always help to do it. But even if we are helping, we cannot forget that it's also an adjustment of what we are doing. Is you are helping, but you have to take it serious because you are adjusting someone else. And we can have like 3 different kinds of people. So first of all, we need to look what the people are doing, like how is their Padmasana, how strong their catch behind the back. Maybe we can help a little bit from the back, or you need to observe what is happening. We can have some people who has strong catching with the big toes. In this strong catching, most of the time, we don't need to help with the hands. What I do, for example, in that case, I hold from my inner thighs here or calf muscle and push in and just let the people go down and come back. Second case, we have some people, we can call it like soft catching. That means when we come, they are catch from the big toes, but at the moment they start to come down, they fall, they lost the catching. In that case, I recommend that keep pushing in from your inner calf muscle and hold, and you hold strong the forearm this way. What we do, we catch the forearm, we push a little bit to your side, and then we move with the person. We don't do this with our hands because it's too heavy. So we use all our body to move with the person. So we catch, and when they come down, I go, let him touch, and then come, and I move back. Please be careful with not push too hard, because if we push hard, we are pressing the lower back as they are doing a butt bend. The third case, it's maybe no catching or super soft catching. In that case, I recommend ask people to they catch your forearm. If we ask them to catch our forearm, we can make a little bit this movement and try to help them to open the chest and try to go close to the big toes. Always we press here, we leave a little bit space so they can lift the knees, but then we do this movement, and also we go with the body. So allow the people who go down not pressing in the opposite direction in order to try to help to go deep into the asana. Like people think like, wow, I'm moving forward into the asana, I'm not like a static one. So always you can ask me, we can do it together. And if you don't feel secure, don't do it. It's you are free to do it or not. I want to talk a little bit about the jump back and jump through, because this is so challenging, and as it's so challenging, people just give up. It's easy to see like, no, it's too difficult, I can't. As it's too difficult and I can't do it, I stop trying. If it's difficult, you need to try the most. So you already have a very advanced practice. You are doing many things. So you are completely able to jump back and jump through. If you don't try, it never's going to come. The first thing you need to keep is your knees close, and close your knees in between, and also knees close to your chest. The first thing we can do is hold strong, let the arms out, and keep this. Most of the times I keep, and when I let my arms out, this happens. First of all, try to keep this, and then try to lift. Even if you can't lift, try. What I recommend, if you can't lift and move, just lift, and maybe you can come down and then jump. Maybe after a while, you're going to be able to lift and move a little bit. Don't worry if your feet touch the floor, don't worry, but keep it. You lift and try to go. Even if you touch, try to keep and jump back. But you need to make progressions with the practice. And also this is a critical point where we usually lose the bandhas, because we finish the asana, inhale, exhale, and then exhale. Okay. And then all the times in between, we lose everything. Because mind starts to think like, I can't. You just do it. Don't think. You come in, lift, and push back, and just do it. It's not important if you really can do it or not, but don't lose your energy. Same when we jump through, you do jump, and then we go. So same, you keep your energy in. Don't let your energy push you down. So you go, keep in. Okay, so when you keep in, believe me, that it's so much easier than when you let all the energy go out, because then you need too much strength to bring all the energy in again. Last, I want to talk about Setu Bandhasana because it's a very challenging asana. It's also very complicated. Most of you, what do you come up from your hips? So that means that happens with the head. Push down. Very dangerous. Most push up from the hips. That means hips first, then straight legs, and then after, as we push from the hips up, head can't move. So just can't. We just push the head down and the neck down. Actually, the Setu Bandhasana should be something like that. We start with the feet, pressing the legs, hips are here, and then we allow to move the head to move in. If you feel like your head is pressing you down and you can't move your head when you do the asana, is because you are coming up from your hips. So please be careful, because this is very, 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 very dangerous. So you need to feel like when you push, you really push from your legs so you can move your head forward, roll in with your head, sorry. When you push from your legs, you also feel your gluteus, your lower back muscles around the spine, and also neck kind of stretching. So if you're not able, if you are in the asana, just lift the head, hips. I feel the press in my neck, and also I cannot stretch my legs. You see? But the sign is, if you feel too much press on your neck, on your head, you are doing something wrong. If you can't stretch your legs, you are doing something incorrect. A good asana to work in is Matsyasana. So Matsyasana, you really can go with your top of the head and open your chest, hold your big toes, and maybe it's very good for start to prepare this one.